Hey everyone, how's it going? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, aka Noah, back again with this new video of mine, and this is my thoughts and review on the movie Kraven the Hunter. The movie just came out a couple days ago. I literally just got back from seeing it on the big screen, so better late than never, but I'm ready to give my full-on thoughts and review on it. And I will be spoiler-free to just fully explain this movie. I don't want to spoil it or ruin it for those that still have not seen it, but again, I just got back from seeing it. I'm ready to give my full-on thoughts and review on it. So, one thing I will admit, I love and enjoy actor Aaron Taylor Johnson. I mean, he's a great actor. He's up there being like one of my top 10 favorites. I mean, this is the guy who's gone from being Kick-Ass, which is one of my favorite superhero movies outside of Marvel and DC, to the MCU's version of Quicksilver, who was sadly short-lived. And now here he is playing one of the few most iconic Spider-Man villains that us diehard comic book fans are familiar with, or even some people may know from the recent Spider-Man 2 video game that came out last year. But as for this movie, well, in my opinion, I guess you could say I really like it. I really enjoy it. I mean, I wouldn't say, oh my god, hate it or love it. I know a lot of people are just 50-50 with this movie, but it has just gone through some trial and error. The movie was supposed to come out like less than a year ago, but Sony and Marvel, they just had to go back and do some reshoots and just fix some things here and there after the failed Madam Web movie. Well, let's just say Marvel and Sony just want to try and get their crap together and fix some things. And I'm glad they did. And I am glad that they went the rated R route with this movie. I almost wish that this is what they did for like the other Sony Spider-Man villain movies. I almost wish that they could have gone the rated R route and they could have turned out a lot better. Now, I know the movie has had its highs and lows on Rotten Tomatoes. And I will admit, Aaron Taylor Johnson, to me, I think he did a good job playing the character. I mean, he had the physique, he had the muscle. I mean, the way he speaks, the way he acts. I mean, he did a good job embodying the character. Because if you know anything about Kraven, he is a savage character. He is a character that is like on the level of being like Captain America, of like street level power. Like being one of the greatest hunters and deadliest hunters, and he wants to fight and kill Spider-Man as as a trophy. Like he feels like he could beat him, he could try and take him on. I mean, that's what Kraven is all about. But in this movie, I mean, the story may have been very different. Like, I will admit, there are a ton of like Spider-Man Easter eggs and name drops of like, I will admit, I was being a bit giddy, like saying, oh my god, this character, that character. I mean, I was like that because I will admit there are things that us diehard Spider-Man fans would be surprised at, and we'd be like, well, there were a couple of smiles on my faces, but yeah, I mean, there were, the movie, again, liked it, enjoyed it, but I feel like it was still missing that spark. I mean, there were a couple things in this movie that, like, I wish I could fully 100% love, or just, I wish they could have gone back and fixed up a bit more. Again, Sony had to go back and do some reshoots and fix some things up. I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand that they were on a deadline and they want to just get this movie out there and just show it to the world. But, I mean, yeah, the story may have felt a bit rushed and slow at the same time, but yeah. And there are some great actors. I mean, I forgot the guy's name, but this one actor who plays Kraven's brother, he was great. Same goes for Russell Crowe playing, Kraven's father, he was great. I mean, we have like a ton of great actors and celebrities playing these characters. And they nailed their characters, they were good at acting, but honestly, I feel like if you were to know these characters very well, you would understand why they are doing this. Because, again, I'm a diehard comic book fan. I know these characters front and back. I mean, some of these are like actual Spider-Man characters from the comics or cartoons or other movies. And heck, some of them are actual Spider-Man villains. And speaking of Spider-Man villains, of course we did get the Rhino in this movie. And I will admit, Rhino was kind of sort of cool. I mean, I will admit, he was a lot better in this movie than he was in Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2. But yeah, he was pretty much just come and go in the movie. And he was only in one big fight with Kraven near the end of the movie, but that was it. But yeah, I mean, I do want to say, like, I wish I could fully love the design. I do wish that I could go back and help, like, make some tweaks and make some changes. I mean, honestly, I feel like you need, like diehard comic book fans to be the writers and be the creators of these things, just so they know what they're doing. They want to give the fans what they want. Yeah. So, in my opinion, again, there's some little things that I do wish that I could go back and fix, but hey, it's just a movie. I get it. They're trying their best, and Sony and Marvel just want to try and entertain us. But yeah, the movie, it was just, again, I'm just being honest on what my opinion is. It's not going to win an Oscar. It's not as great as like Dark Knight or Avengers or like the Spider-Verse animated movie. It's not going to be like any of those. So, I mean, understanding if you hate it or if it's just 50-50, to me, I mean, really like it, really enjoy it. I mean, there was some gore, there was some action, because I'm glad Sony went the rated R route with this movie, and I wish that they had done that for the other movies that they have made in the past for like their Venomverse movies and their Morbius movies. But another thing that Sony and Marvel are done with is that they won't be making any more of the Venomverse movies and or giving Spider-Man villains and other characters their own solo spin-off movies. I mean, I get that Sony wants to try and make like another like MCU universe, one that doesn't really have a Spider-Man or a world that's just full of Spider-Man villains and Spider-Man would come later on. I mean, I get it that Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man and his characters, but I understand that they now just want to focus on like Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man movie, the Spider-Man Noir film anime series that's coming later on, and same goes for like the third Spider-Verse movie, which honestly they haven't even started filming yet, and it won't come out for another another year or two. But yeah, I mean, I get that they want to focus on other Spider-Man projects, and that's good. So, I mean, full honesty, I mean, I will admit, this version of Kraven, I quite enjoyed him. I quite liked him. He's a bit more anti-hero-ish than a villain in this film. And I will also admit, better than Madam Web and Morbius. And again, it's not an Oscar-winning film. I doubt it's gonna win awards. And I will also admit that the Sony Venom movies were probably a tad bit better than this movie. So yeah, understanding if you like this movie or hate this movie, this is just my opinion. I mean, if you're in any way of a diehard Spider-Man fan like me, or you know every bit about Kraven from the comic books or TV shows, then you would obviously really like it or enjoy it. But that's just my opinion, and that's just what I could say about the film. I mean, we can't all be like full-on critics, and not everyone reads a comic book these days, so quite understanding. But that's just my opinion and everything I could say about the movie. Again, I want to try and be as spoiler-free-ish as I can be, but that's just my opinion. I mean, in a way of saying it, I guess I would give this movie like a 7 out of 10. That's just my best way of saying it. I do wish that I could fix some things here and there with the movie to make it a tad bit more better and understanding. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And also, we are nearing the end of 2024, so yeah, everyone's already going to have their list of like what's going to be the best movie of this year or the worst movie of this year. This one, I would say maybe somewhere right in the middle. And just wrapping up this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by hitting subscribe down there, hit the bell, hit the comments. It would be very supportive if you guys did that for me. Let me know what you thought about Kraven, if you loved it, liked it, hate it. Do you want to read the comics? Do you like the games? Do you like the show, him in the shows? Just let me know what you thought in the comments, of course. But also, don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all my social media, just right here. I just might follow you guys back, but till next time, this is Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, aka Noah, out and about, and catch you guys on the flip side.